All right, we are live. Let me just check some of these things here. There you go, put my chat box to the top so I could see this. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just sorting my windows to where I could see the chat box. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Dang it. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to live with that. That's all that matters for me is I see the chat box on one display up there, and I see my editing software straight in front of me. So that's what matters. Alright. So yeah, what up? It's Shankster94, and welcome to a live look at me editing my weapon review. Now, I'm already seeing people starting to chat, which is awesome. Someone asked me a question right off the bat. Thought I wasn't going to do Resident Evil 7 videos live anymore. Not actually playing the game, no, but this was a brand new idea that sprouted just a couple days ago. But to show you guys me editing videos is something I've always planned on for years. So this is finally a chance for me to do that. So yeah, as you can see here, I have Adobe Premiere CC up, and that is because I have my weapon review project up. Now I know nothing's in the timeline right now. Well, that's because I already edited a couple parts of the video, and for the next part, I decided I would live stream it. So nothing's in there yet, but all my files are ready to go. Oh, and someone asked how many weapons are in Resident Evil 7. Well, excluding DLC, because we don't, at least I don't know if there will be new weapons in DLC. There are a total of 17 weapons in Resident Evil 7. So, would I ever do a live weapons review? I don't know about that. Because weapon reviews are an editing process, to be honest. And, like, they would just be way different if I were to do a weapon review right then and there. You would see everything that happens in between, like the scenes, like between the weapon testing and the enemy testing. yeah, you would see all the in-between, and it would be crazily longer. So, yeah. Anyway. I have to remember that this is going to be a regular video after the live stream, so I can't stay in live mode too much for the regular viewers of this video after the fact. But anyway, Fearless, the axe and the crowbar, they are part of this weapon review. I know they're in specific fights. So is the chainsaw. But regardless, I'm reviewing them one way or another. But anyway, enough talk about me doing this. I'm going to go ahead and start this. Ooh. Yeah, autosave just came up on Adobe Premiere. Alright, so here's one thing you guys should know. Before I started live streaming this, I tested OBS, like recording it. And when I'm in the process of editing in Premiere, my processor seems to struggle sometimes. Like when I would be playing the video in the timeline while recording my computer screen, it would start lagging like very badly. So I apologize in advance if at some point it starts to skip and like it freezes a lot. One thing I did to try to prevent that is I lowered my bitrate in OBS to only 1 megabyte per second. It still looks alright, so I hope you can forgive any quality issues there is. But the best thing for it was I set my processor priority to high when it comes to OBS. So now my processor is running OBS at a much higher priority than all of my other apps open, including Google Chrome, which is doing the live stream, so I don't know how it's going to affect that. Right now, though, it looks like it's still going, so we'll see. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to get into editing now, so enjoy. Every once in a while, I'll look up at the chat, and if I see a question that I can quickly answer, I'll go ahead and do that. But once again, I have to think about the regular viewers after this live stream is over. Alright, so here's what you came for. Alright, so let's get started. So where I am right now in the weapon review, I've edited all of the melee weapons, and there are a total of 7 out of the 17 weapons that are melee. So I'm a little less than halfway done with this project. So, now that I'm done with the melee weapons, it's time to move on to the firearms. So I'm going to let you guys see this at a higher point in my weapon review when things start to heat up. Alright, so this is my personal hard drive, and this is where a lot of my YouTube stuff goes, including raw clips for videos I produce in the future. So, as you can see here, I carefully named a bunch of these clips to where they'll be in exact order that I want in the weapon review. Now, if I go back a folder, here's all my folders with each of the weapons. So check it out, starting with a pocket knife and ending with a grenade launcher. So, yeah, this is also how I know there are 17 weapons, because I put them all into individual folders. Yeah, but I also got other stuff, such as an intro and an outro, and then there's my project file. Alright, so I just completed doing the remote bomb, so we're going to go into the M19, which is the first pistol. Alright, so I'm going to go into that folder, and here are my clips. And so these are video clips, here, here, and here. And these, with the sound symbol, are my audio clips, because I put my commentary on separate files. Since I use a completely different program. Excuse me. A completely different program. The gamer organizer. That's awesome. Alright. Anyway, let's see here. So, start with the first 2 clips, since I ordered it that way. I'm going to select both the video file and the sound file. Oops. What happened there? I guess I accidentally hit copy. I don't need that. Okay. No, this game does not have a lot of weapons. This is one of the easiest weapon reviews I've done in a long time. Alright, so I got those two selected. I'm going to open them. They're importing into my project. Alright, it conformed the sound. Alright, this is where things might start to get skippy, because I'm about to put a video in there. So first I'm going to put the video in there. Okay, well, it's asking me this, because earlier when I was editing the project, it was at a different setting, and now nothing's in there, so it has to ask me this question again. I'm going to keep existing settings. Okay, so now the video is in, and first thing you see, it's like letterboxed. That's because my project setting is at 1080p, while the clips were recorded at 720p. So it's smaller than the resolution I designed the project for. I'm going to quickly fix that. I'm going to click on the clip. I'm going to go to Effect Controls. So yeah, this is going to be a distraction looking at that chat, because I'd love to communicate with you guys, but I also got to focus on editing so I don't take too long, you know. I would like to finish editing this project during this live stream, but we got 9 weapons to go, so I don't know if, or 10 weapons to go actually, so I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to increase the size of this so it matches the resolution. So I'm going to upscale it. Alright, to help me, I'm going to drag this out. There we go. Okay. My favorite weapon in the game, it's pretty early to call, but I'm probably going to say it's the Albert 01 pistol, to be honest. It's very powerful for a pistol. When you put enhanced ammo in it, it has an equivalent firepower to the Magnum. A lot more ammo, though, with it. Alright, so obviously I can go just a little bit more. Okay. Yep, there we go. Looks good right there. Now I'm going to reset my layout to get back to all that. There we go. Very true. Resident Evil 5 and 6 and Outbreak had an insane amount of weaponry compared to the 17 here. This is a cinch. Alright, now that I got my resolution set, okay, you know what I'm going to do to help me out? I actually can open an older save of this project. Let me see here. If I go to autosaves, go to autosave, and yeah, this one. Yeah, I will save, even though all I did was put that one clip in there and increase the resolution. That's it. Alright. Okay, so here's an example of a project way more into it. Like, this is a lot I was doing. So, this is a save of one of my previous parts that I have already exported into a file. But anyway, the reason why I'm going back into this is I need to, get certain settings memorized. Okay, so my scale was 150.5. My X position stayed the same, but my Y position was 541. Alright, so I gotta remember that. And I also remember increasing the brightness a little bit because this game is kind of dark. And for a weapon review, I'd like to increase it so you could see all the weapons very clearly and where it's not too dark. So I need to memorize the brightness settings, brightness filter, and I increased it to 15. I think that's all I did. I did not touch the contrast. Alright, so remember this for me, people, in case I forget. Scale, 150.5. X position, don't touch. Y position, 541. Brightness setting, 15. I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember that. Anyway, now I'm going to go back to the current project. Alright. And of course, guys, I'm not looking at the stream all the time. And plus, for me, there's like a 7-second delay. So I can't watch that all the time. But I am looking at the chat box. So please, guys, let me know if things go wrong. Okay? As for regular viewers, please try to forgive me talking live like this. This was a live stream once. Alright. So back to this project. Now I'm going to... Alright, so it was 150.5 for the scale. Okay, and this position was 541. Okay, it didn't change very much at all, but this will be the perfect setting. Alright, so now I have to add a brightness filter to it, so I'm going to go over here to Effects, go to Video Effects. I'm actually going to type in brightness. Color correction, there we go, and drag that over onto there. Now set my brightness to 15. There we go, that changed it quite a bit, and it's brighter now, so it looks better. Alright, now that I got my my settings for my videos down, for all subsequent clips I put in afterward, I could just copy the effects from this clip and put them on all clips afterward. So this will make the process much easier. This is why I love editing, because all this simplicity that you can learn. Alright, so now I got the raw clip in. Now I'm going to test something real quick. I'm going to start playing out this clip, and we're going to see on the live stream if it starts lagging. So, good luck. Okay. It's not, I don't know if it's lagging the stream, but it's definitely lagging my processing in the editing software itself. Now, that's not too big of a problem. I can deal with that. But, alright. Well, I'm looking at it, and it did seem a little skippy in some spots. I guess there's just no way to make this perfect for you guys. I just hope you can bear with it. Alright, so I'm going to stop testing that out. Alright. How many people are watching right now? 12. Nice. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna say alright a lot. Yes, there you go. This is technically a behind the scenes thing. Alrighty. I got my video clip. Now let's put in the audio clip so you can start hearing my voice. Okay, so one thing I do with voice tracks, they're always a little too loud in the program, so I always like to lower the decibels to minus 2.18. That keeps it from redlining over here. So yeah. Alright, so now I'm gonna zoom in the timeline a little bit. Alright, so here's the cool part for you guys. You're going to start hearing my weapon review sort of as it's being made. Because these are my voice tracks that I'm about to play. Here we go.
Alrighty, people, we're going to fire this weapon.
Processing is horrible, though. Look at that. It can't even...
We're going into the firearms after all. But before I get started on that, there's a few things I need to explain that this game...
this is going to get on my nerves. Let me see if I can... If I lower the playback resolution to, like, only a quarter, will that help?
Before I get started on that, there's a few things I need to explain that this game features. There's these things called chem fluid and strong chem fluid, and these are used to create items in the game. Now, one of these items that can be
let me guys know if you can hear the if you can hear the program, like my voice track. What do you mean the bot's glitching? It's automated to give you that link every 10 minutes. Alright, people are saying it sounds good. That's all I needed to hear. And yeah, it appears that lowering the preview resolution here to only a quarter helped a little bit with the processing. I don't need it super clear to preview it. As long as it's clear in the final product is all that matters. I wish I could go down to 1/8, because that would probably help out even more. Anyway, so that was a preview of my track. Now I need to start editing it together. Now here's the thing. This is something you guys also never seen. If you've ever seen my weapon reviews uncut, there would be a lot of gaps in my speech, and you would hear me stutter and stumble over my speech a lot too. I don't have the best, like, charisma, I guess it's called. Sometimes I trip over my own words, and I have long gaps, like how I'm speaking to you now, because I'm not very good at thinking on my feet. But with the power of editing, I could mask all of that. But now you guys are going to see me for my true self. So, this is going to be a trip. Alright, so now I need to match the scene to the sound. So, let's see here. I'm going to trim that. Put it to the very beginning. And for each part of my video, I like to fade it in from black. So, make this transition a minute long. Also, this thing is playing at 60 frames per second, not 30, because this game supports 60 frames per second gameplay. So this weapon review will be in 60 frames per second.
Alrighty, people, we're gonna fire this weapon.
Alright, that looks so good, just opening up like that, and the timing is perfect, so I'm not gonna touch it.
Alrighty, people, we're gonna fire this weapon review up. We're going into the firearms after all. But before I get started on that, there's a few things I need to explain that this game features.
Much better.
There's these things called chem fluid and strong chem fluid.
Okay, so I just noticed there that my voice isn't entirely matched to the scene, because I started mentioning the chem fluids before I got the inventory up, which kind of destroys the illusion of continuity. So I need to fix that. Since my video and my voice track are two different tracks, they can come out of sync, and I gotta fix it during editing. So let me see if I could find the right spot here.
There's these things called...
Alright, so I need to cut the video like right here. And this is why sometimes you guys see jump cuts in my videos, because I can't keep it consistent all the time. I'm reading you guys in the chats, and you guys are just awesome. You guys have really awesome things to say. I wish I could address you all at once, but that would take up too much time. Alright, so let me cut this little bit of the video, see if that matches it up.
There's these things called chem fluid.
Okay, not quite. Maybe I need to begin the moment the menu comes up, like right before I start talking. And if you could see in here, you could see like the volume of the video track. They're not nearly as high as my voice track down here, but you can see these little spikes in the waveform, and that lets you know that some sort of sound occurs there. And this is what I use to really fine-tune where things happen when the video is matched up against the audio. So I can use this to my advantage. So I know this point is where the menu shows up on the screen. So I want that to appear right before I start talking about the chem fluid. So I think cutting it right here would be perfect. So now it comes up a little in advance. That may be a little too early. Let's find out.
There's these things called chem fluid.
Okay, so let me go back a little more.
Game.
Oh, crap. Alright, this happens sometimes. Even if I wasn't live streaming, this happens sometimes. Sometimes my editing software, like, it freezes the preview and it just will not play it whatsoever. Quick fix for that is to delete the clip and then undo, bring it back, and see, there you go. Usually
that this game features. There's these things called chem fluid and strong chem fluid. And these are used to
Alright, so right there, that's what I'm talking about, speech impediment. So normally right there, I would cut that out because you don't want that little in the actual video. So here's me demonstrating cutting my videos to perfection.
And these are used to fluid.
Alright, so cut right there on both the video and audio track because I want them to stay somewhat synced.
And these are...
Alright, and that's where I consistently say the sentence I'm trying to say, so I'm going to delete the inconsistent one. Alright, so now let's see how it
chem
sounds.
fluid and strong chem fluid. These are used...
Okay, I just noticed that I'm still not perfectly synced, because you saw how I mentioned the strong chem fluid, but then about a second later, that's when I went to the right. So I still need to go a little earlier on that with the video. So let me cut that little snippet out. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay, that's going to make it a little weird for the cut right there, but it's okay.
There's these things.
Come on, get playing. Come on.
There's these things called chem fluid and strong chem fluid. These are used to create...
Okay. It's still not... Alright, I'm just gonna cut straight to the menu. It's something I'm just gonna have to do since I already made the cut.
There's...
Sometimes this helps too if I go back and forth like this, but there we go.
That this game features. There's these things called chem fluid and strong chem fluid. These are used to create...
Now it's matched up, so there we go.
...items in the game. Now, one of these items that can be created with these two things are handgun bullets and enhanced.
Okay, major voice screw up right there. That's one of the troubles I have when I'm recording my weapon reviews, is like I have to repeat some stuff to say it clearer and more consistently. So usually I always cut out the first attempt at what I'm trying to say.
And enhanced. Our handgun bullets and enhanced.
There we go. Okay, so
handgun bullets with these two things are hand.
Alright, frame by frame precision here. Okay, so now, first you guys saw the whole repetition thing. Now the repetition is gone. Watch this. Because of this, it sounds consistent.
Created with these two things are handgun bullets and enhanced handgun bullets.
Did you see that magic? It's as if I never broke my sentence.
two things are handgun bullets and enhanced handgun bullets. So, enhanced ammo makes a return from Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, only the handgun ammo can...
Okay, so another thing I like to edit out is long gaps in between sentences, because they could take up a lot of time if left unchecked. So I'm gonna cut out that gap you can see in my voice right there.
Nemesis.
Alright, cut.
Now,
Alright, right before I start talking again, see? An empty block, just get rid of it. There we go.
the return from Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now, only the handgun ammo can be enhanced. No enhanced shotgun.
Okay, let me take a quick break to address something that I see going on in the chat. Y'all talking about Resident Evil 1.5. Just so you guys know, I actually have Resident Evil 1.5 on my EPSXE emulator, and I've actually tried it out a little bit. Now I know where you guys are going with this. Now you're gonna ask me, have I ever considered doing a video on it? Yeah, probably. Whether it's a quick little playthrough or possibly a weapon review of Resident Evil 1.5, I could do it technically. It's kind of like Resident Evil 7. I would have to play it quite a bit first before I was ready to do a weapon review. But also 1.5 is very glitchy since people keep saying it's in the beta stages. It's in the beta stages, that's true. So because of that, there's a tendency for mistakes to happen, and I've found myself get stuck in some areas a couple times. So I would hate for that to happen in the process of doing a weapon review or some sort of other video. So I'm actually quite hesitant on doing something on Resident Evil 1.5. In the near future anyway, but there's nothing to say I wouldn't consider doing it finally one day. So well, someone just realized the magic of editing. Yeah, my videos are never as is. There's a lot of editing that goes into it. Anyway, enough about Resident Evil 1.5. It's an idea, just not anytime soon. Right now, we need to focus on the Resident Evil 7 weapons review. So, I got that cut.
Now, only the handgun ammo can be enhanced. No enhanced shotgun ammo here.
Yep, unfortunately, Resident Evil 7 only has enhanced handgun bullets.
Now, in order to create enhanced... Now, chem fluid...
Another cut.
Now...
Alright, so at some point, I'm going to stop talking quite a bit, and I'm just going to focus on editing, and you guys are just going to watch. Because I realize that I've already been doing this for... what? Oh, I can't see it. It won't let me. Anyway. Probably about 20 minutes now, or something. So, I need to get going. Alright, let me put some commands in the chat box real quick, like, just to stimulate the bot. YouTube. See if that does anything. Yeah, that did something. Alright. And I subscribe. Or why do I keep saying I? It's exclamation. And exclamation like. There we go. Alright. Alright, so back to editing. So where do I need to cut?
Can be enhanced. No enhanced shotgun ammo here. Now, in order to create enhanced... Now... Now, chem... here. Now, chem fluid... Here's what all you can make.
Alright, now watch this. I'm going to make an interesting cut here. Because that little first bit wasn't necessary, but I still want the now at the very beginning of it. So watch some more magic happen right here.
Now,
alright, so that's the end of the now. And now I want the beginning of this sentence over here. Alright.
ammo here. Now, here's what all you can make with the chem fluid along with ammo. And this screen here, it shows you everything that can create. It shows you everything that can be.
Alright, another slip up.
This screen here, it shows you everything that can create. It shows. And this screen here. And this screen here, it shows you everything that can be created with regular chem fluid and strong chem fluid. So regular chem fluid combined with an herb makes a first aid med. Combined with gunpowder, regular handgun ammo, combined with solid fuel, you create burner fuel.
Okay, sometimes the little slip-ups in my speech are very, very minor, and I'll leave some of them in. So you heard one just now. I'm gonna leave it in. It's very minor.
Regular handgun ammo, combined with solid
Right
fuel,
there.
you create burner fuel for the burner.
Alright, there's a gap that's worth deleting.
Fuel for
And we don't want to hear for twice, otherwise the continuity gets ruined.
for the burner, another weapon I'll start reviewing soon.
Alright, I don't like that slip up.
Another weapon I'll start reviewing. Another weapon.
Okay. So now let's see how that all sounds.
Burner fill for the burner, another weapon I'll start reviewing soon.
It's good enough. Some of these cuts that I'm making are more noticeable than others if you haven't noticed. And I've had some nitpicky people in previous videos actually notice these and just make a comment about it. And then I have to explain, well, that's the process of editing for you. So, can't be perfect all the time, but it's good enough to where it's a nice, consistent video, and you know what's being said.
Burner fill for the burner, another weapon I'll start reviewing soon. And combined with supplements, you can make psychostimulants, which are used to help you find items throughout the game for a temporary period of time.
Alright, there's a gap I can delete.
The game.
This is fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Because for me right now, it's just being aware that I have an audience now that's driving me to, like, keep doing this. Because I can imagine, you guys can imagine how boring it can be to just keep on to stay at this when the only results, well, alright, just try to imagine how boring this can be if you didn't have an audience to watch you do this. It's a lot of repetition. I'm making a lot of these cuts, like every minute throughout this weapon review. I would upload my reviews from the raw footage if I wanted to. Thing is, yeah, there, as you can see, I have a lot to cut out, and it's cutting all that stuff out that makes these take a lot longer to get uploaded. My weapon reviews would be uploaded very constantly if I didn't have to edit them out.
Throughout the game for a temporary period of time.
Very funny, Charlie.
For a temporary period of time. Now, if you do all that, but with the strong chem fluid, you get some nice stuff. You get a strong first aid, enhanced handgun ammo, flame rounds for the grenade launcher.
And of course, remember, let me guys know if the stream starts looking weird. It's looking good still so far.
And neuro rounds for the grenade launcher, a brand new type of round. I'll be getting into that shortly.
So yes, we get a brand new type of grenade round in Resident Evil 7. Neuro rounds.
I'll be getting into that later in this review. But anyway, to this point, with the gunpowder. The gunpowder also makes a return from Resident Evil 3. However, once again, only for handgun ammo, so there's only one type of gunpowder. So, combined with regular chem fluid, you'll get regular handgun ammo, but combined with a strong, you'll get enhanced handgun ammo. It's the main way to get...
Alright, delete that gap. My only regret for you guys is since I have to lower the resolution to only a quarter in order to keep my processor from exploding. Yeah, the quality of the video preview is horrible, and you can't even read the text. But don't worry, if you guys watch the final product, I can promise you that it will look very crisp clear. Okay?
It's the main handgun.
Yeah, Max Park, I know. Yeah, something that's been brought up to me a couple times about Resident Evil 7 is the fact that it is the very first main game in the series to not feature a rocket launcher. It's like, pure fact. The first main game to not feature a rocket launcher. Resident Evil 6 was the first main game to not feature an unlockable infinite rocket launcher. But now 7 got rid of the rocket launcher completely. It's no longer a weapon. And that is a major breakaway from the series, considering every single main game beforehand has had a rocket launcher. But the way I justify it, in my opinion, is the fact that for me anyway, this game does not have a lot of rocket launcher worthy opponents. All of the enemies in this game can be defeated not with little difficulty with regular weaponry, if you just know how to do it. Even the final boss, Evelyn, is easily defeated with the Albert 01 pistol because it's designed to kill her. So, in my personal opinion, the fact that there's no rocket launcher in this game is justified because it doesn't have a lot of enemies, and out of all of them, none of them are rocket worthy. So, I think that's enough compensation. But other than that, just an interesting breakaway. Alright, continuing.
Enhanced handgun ammo. It's the main way to get enhanced handgun ammo, although there are...
Okay, about the DLC for this game, I'm not too familiar with it, other than the upcoming Not a Hero. What are all these other DLCs I'm hearing about? I heard there was, like, the Lost Tapes or something. I guess I need to look into it.
Handgun ammo. It's the main way to get enhanced handgun ammo, although there are...
Oh, great. Here we go again with claiming this game's not a Resident Evil game. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Enhanced handgun ammo. It's the main way to get enhanced handgun ammo, although there are certain points in the game where you could actually just simply pick it up. Anyway, my point is, since the handguns are going to have 2 different types of ammo, so I'll be testing all of them 2 different times. So just so we're clear about that.
Alright, delete this gap.
So just 2 different times. So just so we're clear about that. Alright. So, to introduce...
Alright, I'm gonna delete that huge gap.
That.
And forget the alright. Alright, now to start up, like, one of the weapons, actually. This is gonna be great.
About that. So, to introduce the first handgun, which is the M19 handgun. Conveniently named due to the fact that you can...
Alright, so here's a case to where I want to cut some audio out, but I don't want to cut the clip. Because sometimes, if I can avoid a jump cut in the video, I will. And to do that, I just simply have to select the audio bit and not the video, and cut that out.
Conveniently...
Right there. And no ripple delete, so it doesn't screw up with the sync. There we go.
Conveniently named due to the fact that you could tell that's the Colt 1911 handgun that's been featured in quite a few of the Resident Evil games, actually. Alright. So here's me equipping it. Now here's something I want to show you guys real quick. When I aim, if my target is in the distance, it blurs out the gun and my hand. However, if the target is closer, like right up in front of me, you see the difference right there? As soon as I get to a close object, the blur goes away and you can actually see my gun and hand pretty clearly. So when I'm testing these weapons out, I'm gonna be shooting them right up against an object.
Okay, go figure. Someone's saying the ban. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to address that right now.
Object, setting them right up against an object so you can get a clear view of the weapon as I'm shooting and reloading it. Alright, so I hope you guys can forget
Alright, cut that.
loading it. Alright, so I hope you guys can
I'll let the laughter in.
shooting and reloading it. Hope you guys can forgive the fact that I'm shooting directly at a wall. I know there's some people out there who wonder why I do this and not test it on an enemy right off the bat. It's just not the style of my reviews, people, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the handgun out, specifically the M19. First with regular handgun ammo.
Alright, you guys ready? Now I'm about to edit the testing of the weapon. So you're gonna see some effects get added here.
Ammo.
Okay, one thing I like to do... Okay, this is where I could really sync up the audio to the video. Because watch this, if I mute the video track, you'll hear the game's audio in my voice track since it's playing out of my TV when I initially recorded it. You hear that? So the voice track is a little ahead of the video track. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut it like right here, and I'm going to move it forward just a bit. Like barely, like right there. See if that helps. That looks a lot more in sync. So now I can get back the audio video track. And okay, so when I'm testing my, let me pull this forward a little bit. When I'm testing the weapon out, what I like to do is I like to delete the voice track bit of it, just in case it's not perfectly synced, and for some reason you're able to hear the voice tracks version along with the video tracks version, and I want some sort of reverb or echoing in there. So for this bit, I'm going to delete that part of the voice track so you have the pure game audio for this test. Alright? Okay, so... Alright, so if you've watched my videos enough, you know what's coming up. What do I do for the last shot of all my weapon tests? I'm gonna actually... Sorry, regular viewers, but I need to adjust my live audience right now. This is a trivia question for you guys. What do I do to the last shot of every weapon in all my weapon reviews? I'll wait for an answer before I continue. For the regular viewers, you could just try to skip it if you can. Or increase the speed on the video. Alright. Correct. Alright, so that is correct. The answer is I put it in slow motion. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, when I do this... Alright, so I want the slow motion to begin right when the animation of the fire happens. So, like maybe one frame before it. So now I'm going to cut it right there. So that shot, that final shot, and now something I've been doing in my more modern weapon reviews is to try to empty the clip so you could see the weapon, you could see the slider stay back. I'm not a weapon guy in real life, people, so I don't know what the technical terms are for a gun, but I think it's the slider, and when you empty the clip, it stays back because there's nothing else to load into the chamber. So with modern weapons, well, with the more modern games, they're getting more accurate in depicting weapons. So I like to show that. And for the reload animations, I like to reload a fully emptied weapon so you can see the slider go cock back in. Okay, I'm getting too much detail. But anyway, so the final shot is ready. Oh, wow. Max Park is going for bonus points. He's even given the answer for what I do with slow motion explosions. Yeah, I reverse them first, then slow-mo. Alright. Okay, so we got the last shot ready to go. Alright, and then I want the slow-mo to end. It's not fixed, but typically when the sound is gone. But this is about right there. It's good enough. Alright, so now we got the exact shot that we want for slow motion. So now, here's where I add the effect. So to slow-mo it in Adobe Premiere, I'm going to right-click it, go to Speed and Duration. Now I can slow-mo it to an exact percentage of its original speed. And for my slow-mos, I do a straight 50%, which is half the speed. Or it takes twice as long. So, we're going to do 50%. Now, here's the cool thing. Since this game is in 60 frames per second, the slow motion is still going to look very smooth. And this is very awesome. Because of that, I can understand if some of you think, why not go down to 25% then? Even slower slow-mo. It's because it's just... I would rather keep the smoothness of the slow-mo than give you slower slow-mo. That's my personal opinion about it. But anyway, 50%. Oh, and here's an important thing. There's this option called Ripple Edit. If I do not select that, what's going to happen is this clip is going to extend down here, and it's going to overlap this succeeding clip. And we don't want that to happen. So if I select Ripple Edit, it will shift the trailing clip over. So watch, it's going to just push it over. See? Alright, so now this shot is in slow-mo. So let's see the test in action. Oh, slow-mo. Alright, now, just to demonstrate, let's see how it looks if I were to do 25%. So super slow-mo. Okay, so obviously the super slow-mo is cooler in a way, but it was pretty skippy. It's because the frame rate, 60 frames per second being played back at only 15 frames per second, it's still going to be a little jumpy. So, yeah. So I'm not going to do that. So undo. So now it's back to 30. So now it's back to 30. There we go. Alright, and then of course, after the slow-mo shot and emptying of the clip, we show the reload animation. So that's what this is. Looking good.
Alright, typical sounding handgun, a decent firing speed. Now here's something about the fire rates. You can't hold down the button and it will constantly fire anymore. Only you can control the fire rate. This is very similar to Resident Evil Outbreak.
Yeah, that's a true fact. I'm going to leave it in.
There's probably more examples. That's the one I chose.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to do something for someone who just commented. They want me to go over 9,000 with the slow-mo. Okay. Wait. So what are you saying? Because if I do 9,000%, it's going to speed it up, not slow it down. I think you need to use a different choice of words, Martinez. What's the minimum speed? 1%? Probably. Okay. I think we can all agree that's just a little too slow, don't you think?
examples, that's the one.
Okay. Okay, so he was serious about the over 9,000 thing. So he wants to see it in, like, super fast motion. What's the point of that? Fine. 9,001. It's over 9,000! Literally just this. A little click. Okay, there you go. Alright. So let's get back on track here. I could read the comments later.
Alright, typical sounding handgun, a decent firing speed. Now here's something about the fire rates. You can't hold down the button and it will constantly fire anymore. Only you can...
Alright, so for my Magnum headshots, I do the slow motion bit twice. First I do the headshot, reverse it, go to 50% slow-mo, reverse that, and then go to 25% slow-mo. That's what I do with Magnum headshots.
Alright, typical sounding handgun, a decent firing speed. Now here's something about the fire rates. You can't hold down the button and it will constantly fire anymore. Only you can control the fire rate. This is very similar to Resident Evil Outbreak. There's probably more examples, that's the one I chose. So yeah, most main games have had a constant fire rate. Okay, a better example probably would be Code Veronica. Yeah, you can't... I don't think you can constantly fire in Code Veronica. Not a semi-automatic pistol, anyway. So yeah, that was probably the best fire rate I could give you guys.
Alright, so there's a lot of TMI in there, like too much information. I can cut a lot of that out. Another element of my uncut weapon reviews, sometimes I delete information. So you can consider that little bit deleted scenes.
There's probably more examples, that's the one I chose. There's probably more examples.
Okay, so I already made the cut right there, so I can go all the way over here. I need to zoom out a little bit to see how far it is.
So anyway. So yeah, that was probably the best.
Alright, right there, probably. See, I'm deleting a big chunk right here. So, bam.
Resident Evil Outbreak. So yeah, that was probably the best fire rate I could give you guys. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch to enhanced ammo and see if the fire sound is any different.
Alright, slow-mo the last shot with enhanced ammo. Oh yeah, I forgot. I want to get rid of the sound of the voice track for that little bit. Oops, sorry. Personally, melee move reviews I think are funner to edit. I haven't done those in a long time, though.
Is any different? Fire sound is any different. Alright, it is slightly different. Alright, now...
Whoa, what did I do there? Oh, I don't want to ripple delete. See, that was super out of sync.
Sound is any different.
Alright, so right there I was comparing the difference between regular ammo and enhanced ammo. So...
Alright, it is slightly different. Alright, now that I know that, I'll be testing both of them for all the handguns. If it turned out to be exactly the same, I would have only tested both ammos on the enemy testing and not the initial testing. Alrighty then, so there's...
Alright, delete that little gap.
Alrighty then, not the initial testing. Alrighty then, so there's the M19 testing it out. Now, actually, you can actually get these little animations with the weapon if you're standing still long enough. I'm going to try to make sure to show all of those with every weapon as well, just for the heck of it. There you go. Just re-gripping it. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and test the M19 handgun on a molded. With both ammos. First with regular ammo.
Okay. So, that is the end of the weapon, of the initial test of the weapon. So now, for the next fun part, the enemy testing. So, now I gotta go back in here. Oops. Okay. I forgot to do something. Since I was so focused on demonstrating editing to you guys, I forgot an important step that I was gonna do for this weapon review specifically. So, let's see here. So I'm going to go back in here and import. Okay. What is that? Oh, okay, so 1.5. This is a little extra bits that I kind of wanted in here somewhere. I got to look at it, though. Oh, okay, I think I want this in, like, in between the testing, so I have to find a spot.
Alright, typical sounding handgun, a decent firing speed. Now here's something about the fire rates. You can't hold down the button speed. Alright, typical...
Alright, like right before that voice track is where I want this thing I just brought in. So, let's see here. I want to snap right there, cut it. Now watch this. I'm going to shoehorn this clip into the middle of it. Now if I just release right here, it's going to overlap all that I've done past this point. But if I hold control, it will push it over. So now you see it pushed it over all the way over there. Okay, so now this is another clip I just put in, so it's back to its original resolution. Now to fix that, I'm gonna go over to a clip that has the effects added to it. I'm gonna copy, Control C, if you're a PC user, and now I'm gonna right click on the new one and paste attributes. And I want all of these selected, so now it zoomed in and it increased the brightness just like that for me. That's why it's so much easier once I have the effect on one clip and just copy and paste it to all the rest of the clips. Alright, so let me see what this clip is all about now. I know what it's about, but you guys don't. Like a very specific, a very detailed bits with this weapon review.
Alright, so here's me testing it out.
Oh, I need to lower my voice track. It started redlining over there. Okay.
Alright, so here's me testing it out one-handed with Ethan after he gets his hand cut off by Mia.
Okay, so there's a huge delay right there. So I can cut this clip down by quite a bit. Maybe by like this much.
Alright, so here's me testing it out one-handed with Ethan after he gets his hand cut off by Mia.
That's awesome. Alright, now I'm going to cut it there. Get rid of all this access pad. And delete the rest of this voice track since there's nothing else on there. And of course, I want to slow-mo the last shot. Right there. Alright. Down to 50. Ripple edit. There we go. and show a one-handed reload animation.
Alright, typical sounding handgun, a decent firing speed.
There, and then we're cut back to the original testing, and that's fine.
Now here's something about...
And the rest is as is. So, okay, so here's another thing I just remembered. For this weapon review specifically, and this is something I'm going to mention in the actual video, I'm going to add a new element to my weapon reviews that I've never done before. In the middle of, like, introducing it, I'm going to show you guys the weapon locations in the game. This will answer some of you guys' questions in the future. Like, if you were planning on asking me where do you get a certain weapon, or you're having trouble finding it, now I'm going to show you in the actual weapon review. So, that's what these clips are for. The ones named Intro. Now, with the M19 handgun specifically, it can be a little tricky. Well, Max, I've just been at it for 7 years, so... You should have seen my weapon reviews. You should have seen me editing my weapon reviews back in 2011 when I very first started them. Way different. And I was using different software. I was using Windows Movie Maker, a free editing software that came with Windows XP. So, yeah. Alright, so that's the first one I want. Alright, so the intro is me introducing where you find the weapon, as you can see here. So I want that somewhere in the middle of the introductions. So at some point before the enemy testing. Actually, this is something I want before the initial test. I want this right after I introduce the weapon, so I gotta find that point.
I'm gonna be shooting them right up against an object. You see the difference right there? In the distance, it blurs out the gun and my hand.
You saw the final product. You didn't see me actually edit it.
So here's me equipping it. Now here's something I want to show you guys real quick. Games, actually. Alright. So here's me...
Okay, so right here is where I'm gonna cut in between the middle of it and do the introduction of the weapon, or do the location of the weapon. So put that right in there, pushes everything over, good. Alright, so copy the effects, put them over here. There we go. Alright, and then when it comes from going from introducing the weapon to showing the location, I actually like to fade it just to make it look a little more cinematic and like cleaner, smoother transition instead of just a jump cut. So watch this. Okay, I actually want to cut that a little earlier. Maybe like right there.
Alright.
That looks way better. Alright. So now I got the video, I need to get the voice track in there still though. So that is right here. Now the reason I have 3 of the videos but only 1 voice track is because I made this voice track over these 3 videos. So it's gonna match regardless.
So the first appearance of the M...
Alright, I'm gonna cut this a little bit. It doesn't want to ripple delete. Oh, well, otherwise it would bring everything else with it. Whoa, hold on. What did I do right there? Oh, see, I didn't see that. I gotta be careful. Since I was zoomed in, I didn't see that I was covering all these clips that came afterward. This is why I wish I remembered to do it earlier. Anyway, what I have to do here is... Here, hold on. Undo. I need to snap it to, like, right there, but still push it over. Alright, and bring this clip back. There we go. That's better. Alright, that was tricky, but I'm very good at editing. You can't get past me that easily. So...
Alright.
Okay, it's back to a jump cut for some reason. I'll fix that.
Alright.
Actually, I'm gonna make it only 30 seconds long. For both of the transitions. No, I can't do that.
Alright.
Okay, delete that bit. Drag it over here. Oops, I don't want to do that. There we go. Ah! There.
Alright. So the first appearance of the M19...
That sounds very awesome. So now to lower the voice track so it doesn't redline.
Alright. So the first appearance of the M19 handgun is when you unlock the attic at the old house. When you unlock the attic at the guest house. So the first appearance of the M19...
Okay, so... sometimes I don't remember my own voice tracks until I play them back. And right there you noticed I repeated myself like twice. So I gotta find where it really begins. So like right here, I'd say. Alright, bring this back.
Alright, so the first appearance of the M19 handgun happens to be at the guest house at the very beginning of the game. After you unlock the attic, you want to go into the first room on your right, and there you'll find some handgun ammo, and what do you know, the M19 handgun.
Oh, that matches perfectly. Couldn't have done it any better.
And what do you know, the M19 handgun.
Okay, fine.
Now, since Ethan only has one hand, we can't...
Fine.
Now...
I'm gonna delete that little repeat. There we go.
Fine.
Now, since Ethan only has one hand, we can't, like, cock it. You know what I mean?
Ha! Alright, so delete that little bit. Bring in the next location clip, which is down here. Wait, what is that? Oh. Whoa, wait. Gotta make sure. Alright, we're good. Okay. Alright, what does the voice say?
Now, after that point, you could actually find it again inside the trailer after getting out of the main house. It will be on Zoe's bed. And it's a broken handgun, so unfortunately you can't use it again right off.
Alright, so yeah, I do want the voice track to start right there. Alright, let me see how this looks.
Now, after that point, you could actually find it again inside the trailer after getting out of the main house. It will be on Zoe's bed. And it's a broken handgun, so unfortunately you can't use it again right off the bat. You have to go outside and get a repair kit. And the repair kit happens to be under the house over here. So if you're coming out of the house...
Alright, so I did that for a reason. So I'm gonna fade cut that little
house
gap
over here.
So watch this. Delete the gap. And then fade.
Over here. So if you're coming out of the house, this is what...
What the? Get out of here.
over here. So if you're coming out of the house, this is what you might want to do this first, since it's like practically right there. You would open it up. You would open this sheet of metal that's blocking this path, and the repair kit would be in a box that is right here. Unfortunately, I already opened it before I remembered to start recording, so you don't see it right here and there, but trust me, this is where the repair kit is. Alright, so as if you got the repair kit just now, then you would head back into the trailer, and you would find the broken handgun. And then you can go ahead and repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Alright, so this is where I want to do another fade cut.
You would find the broken handgun. And then you can find the broken handgun.
Alright, I'm going to keep that voice track in there, but I'm going to cut the video to where I want it. What was I doing here? There's a lot of unnecessary actions happening right there.
The broken handgun. And then you can go ahead and head back into the trailer, and you would find the broken handgun. And then you can go ahead and repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Alright, I'm gonna cut it some more. Oh crap, I don't... Oh, it's bringing all of it. That's good then.
And then you would find the broken handgun. And then you can go ahead and repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Maybe just a little more. How about that?
Broken handgun. And then you can go ahead and repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Alright, let's try this again.
Handgun. And then you can go ahead and repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Alright, that's good enough. Now for the last one. Oh, this was just a little extra bit. Wait.
So I'm gonna go ahead and repair the handgun.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And now we got the M19 again.
I screwed up. Why was there such a big gap?
And then you can go ahead and repair.
Not this again. So yeah, editing a project doesn't come out with some frustrations, as you can see occurring right now.
Repair the handgun, and you can get the M19 again.
Alright, so I need to cut the voice and match it, not the video. There we go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and repair the handgun. And now we got the M19 again.
I don't want to cut it that much. How about that?
So I'm gonna go ahead and repair the handgun. And now we got the M19 again.
There we go. That's good enough. Or, no, you know what? Wait, that's not nearly enough.
So I'm gonna go ahead and repair the handgun. And now we got the M19 again.
Alright, that matches better. Okay, what's all this?
Now just Now, just to show you guys something.
Alright.
Just.
Alright. Get rid of those two. This is painful.
Now, just to show you guys something, you could also get the M19 handgun in the playable demo. And I'm only showing this because in this one you could actually see him cock it. There we go. It's a better introduction.
Okay. Now we're finally done with introductions. So, with that in there now, we can go ahead and reattach all this to there. There we go.
There we go. It's a better introduction.
And I'm going to fade this back in.
It's a better introduction. So here's me equipping it.
And the rest is as is. Alrighty, now we are finally going to get to the enemy testing. So go back to my import, and yep, I just noticed I have no number 5. That's okay. So I got a couple enemy clips. I'm gonna do the first one first. Oh, because one's for regular ammo and one is for enhanced ammo. So first with regular ammo. Okay, something someone brought up to me some time ago is, I guess for all this time I've been pronunciating ammo wrong, because it is short for ammunition. So when I say ammo, I should be saying it ammo, since it's short for ammunition, not ammunition. So it's really, really hard to do it because I've been saying it that way all of my life. So
Now that I know that, I'll be testing.
alright, we got the enemy clip here. Put the voice track right below it.
With both ammos. First with regular ammo. Alright, so a nice smooth...
Okay, so I don't say anything until the enemy testing is already over, so I'm gonna have to move this voice track to where what it looks like is the end of the shooting, which is right there with all those spikes. So, yep, this is about right.
Regular ammo.
Okay, let's start the enemy testing. Alright, just set it a little bit before the shots start.
First
it's
with
okay if it jump cuts to that.
regular ammo.
Okay. So one thing I like to do with my enemy testing is I also like to delete gaps. So the testing goes a lot faster. That's just way too long of a test right there. So right there. Actually, right there. Right there. Right there. voice track over.
Alright.
Oh, lower that.
Alright, so a nice...
Alright, so now here's the enemy testing as a whole.
with regular ammo.
Wow, you're gonna do this to me right now. Alright.
Alright, so a nice smooth enemy testing. Can't get enough of it, can we? Anyway, that took a total of 10 M19 shots to take down a molded when aiming for the chest, and this is in normal mode. Just keep all of that in mind. Now, here's the thing, another element of my weapon reviews, when it comes to the amount of shots it takes to defeat enemies, it may not be the same in all circumstances. Throughout the game, enemies might get tougher, and I'm actually pretty late in the game right now. This is not very far from the end. So for all I know, they might be a little up in power compared to ones you face earlier in the game. Anyway, to prevent, whoa, it just disappeared, I noticed. Anyway, here in the game. Anyway,
Alright, I need to make a cut right here.
to prevent, whoa.
I'm gonna go ahead and let that little discovery stay in.
Anyway, to prevent, whoa, it just disappeared, I noticed. Anyway, to prevent a misunderstanding with firepower, and another reason I'm not very detailed with my weapon reviews. Whoa, it just disappeared, I noticed. Anyway,
I'm actually gonna cut the video a little bit to where it looks more matched up.
anyway, to prevent, whoa.
Come on.
To prevent, whoa. To prevent, whoa, it just disappeared, I noticed. Anyway, to prevent a misunderstanding with firepower, and another reason I'm not very detailed with my weapon reviews, here's what I do. Whatever amount of shots it takes in the initial test against an enemy, yeah, it's going to be different. Enemy. Yeah, it's going to be initial test against an enemy. It's going to be different in other circumstances. For instance, game difficulty, if you're in easy mode, it's probably going to take less shots. If you're in Madhouse difficulty, it's probably going to take more shots. So, what I would do is... So... What I would do... So, what I would do is... There's a formula that I always use to cover all aspects of the game when it comes to the initial testing.
Alright, another trivia question for you guys that are still watching anyway. If you can tell me the formula that I use after my enemy testings. This may be a tougher question because I only started saying this in the more modern reviews. But anyway, can any of you out there tell me what's the formula that I use? By that I mean, like, when it comes to covering the aspects of all of the game, what's the formula I use for the amount of shots it's going to take on the enemy? Ha! That didn't take long. Okay, so yeah, my form. Oh, well, I'll just say it in the video.
However many shots it took me in the initial testing, just add or subtract 5 from that amount, and it usually will cover all of the game. So it took me 10 shots right there, so I don't think in any circumstance it will take less than 4 shots. It will take less than 5 shots. It will take less than 4 shots. It will take less than...
Interesting little cut I'm making right here.
So, I don't think in any circumstance it will take less than 5 shots, unless of course you're aiming for the head. That changes a lot of things. And it shouldn't take any more than 15 shots, no matter what difficulty you're in. And of course, unless you're aiming for like the foot or something. So, in terms of my test, that what in terms of my for like the foot or something. So, in terms of my test, that what remains the same is if you aim for the chest, that's the amount of shots it's going to take, and just add or subtract that amount by 5, depending on difficulty and where you're at in the game. But that only goes for the chest for a final time. Alrighty? So that's the M19 handgun with regular ammo. Now let's try with enhanced ammo.
Now you see I'm trying to correct myself between ammo and ammo. So, yeah. Okay. So, now for the other enemy test. Gotta put that in here still. Yep, 7 enemy. And these are the last clips for the M19. And then I'll be done with the M19, and we could finally move on to the next weapon. I've been on this since I started this. So, see, I'm looking at my live stream right now, and I can't see the time elapsed. I, like, went over it with my layout of the page. So, if any of you see it, why don't you let me know? And I'm sorry if I'm getting quieter, because I guess I've been talking a lot, and my throat is starting to get sore. So, I'm quieting down. Alright, so let's get the last clip in there. Paste attributes. Yep, there we go. You get the voice track in there, which isn't going to begin until after the initial test. So, is there anything past that? No. Alright, so
with enhanced ammo.
Begin it at a better point. There we go.
Ammo.
Skip that little bit. Okay, there's a delay. Let's get that chunk out. Okay, so there's the initial
enhanced
test.
Ammo.
Or the enemy test. Alright, bring back the voice track.
Alright, so...
Whoa. I always forget to do that.
Alright, so only 4 shots from the M19 when using enhanced ammo against a molded. So enhanced ammo does quite a bit more damage than regular ammo. So you want to stockpile that stuff, and then enhanced ammo is not too bad of ammo to use against more boss-type enemies. Seriously. Alrighty, well, I think that will conclude the M19 handgun. I used both ammos on the molded, and both were very clean tests, no damage taken. These things aren't that hard to, like, stay away from, you just gotta keep your distance. However, there's a couple different types of molded as keep your distance.
I feel like that's TMI.
However, there's a couple different types of molded as well. Some molded have, like, mutated...
Okay, so some people are confused about what my question was. The question was, what is the formula that I use at the end of every enemy test? What is the formula I use to cover across the entire game in terms of how many shots it's going to take to defeat an enemy? The formula is add and subtract 5 from the initial amount it took me in the enemy test to defeat the enemy. So there's the formula.
Arms that will do more damage if you get hit by it, but the mold that I hate the most is the ones that crawl on the floor. Those ones are much more dangerous, they're a lot more mobile, and they're faster. But I think the damage rate, I think the amount much more dangerous, they're a lot more mobile, and they're faster.
Okay, what do you guys think? Should I include this bit in the weapon review? Like, this is a chance for you guys to have some input with my weapon reviews before I upload them to YouTube. So what do you guys think? Should I leave in the information about the molded, or should I cut it out? The information, specifically, is describing the different types of molded in this part.
However, there's a couple different types of molded as well. Some molded have, like, mutated arms that will do more damage if you get hit by it, but the molded I hate the most is the ones that crawl on the floor. Those ones are much more dangerous, they're a lot more mobile, and they're faster. But I think the damage rate, I think the amount of shots it takes to defeat them is around the same, if not less. Because they do more damage, it's gonna require less rounds to defeat them. That would be a good compromise, if you ask me.
Okay, so yeah, right there, this whole... If I were to cut it, it would be this whole section. So what do you guys think? Should I leave that in, or should I cut it out? It's just giving you extra information about molded, and it could be critical for some people who are new to the game. But it's not exactly related to the weapon review. That's why I'm asking. But, alright, I already got 2 answers. Both of them favor leaving it in. So I guess I'm going to leave it in. So get rid of that cut and get rid of that cut and just leave them in as is. There weren't any speech impediments, not really. I'll double check where I can see some gaps.
However, there's some molded have it, but the molded floor. Those ones are much more dangerous. They're
I'll do this little
floor.
This is where editing becomes a little OCD with me. That's something I don't have to cut out, but I like to. I don't like uhs and ums.
All on the floor. Those ones are much more dangerous. They're a lot more mobile, and they're faster. But I think the damage rate, I think that...
Cut that little bit out. Long, but I want to leave the butt in to make it sound a little more consistent.
But I think the faster, but I think the amount of shots it takes to defeat them is around the same, if not...
Heard that little hiccup in there. I might leave that in.
The amount of shots it takes to defeat them is around the same, if not less. Because they do more damage, it's gonna require less rounds to defeat them. That would be a good compromise, if you ask me. Alright, well, that is it for the M19 handgun, people.
Alright, and that officially ends the M19 in terms of editing. So, at the end of every weapon, I like to save my project, Control-S. That way, if something corrupts, I can go back to this point instead of the very beginning. That would just suck. Okay, so there is me editing a single weapon. Now, normally, if I wasn't talking to you guys, it wouldn't have taken that long, because I would have been a little more focused. But, yeah, So that will answer the question that someone just asked: how long does it take me to edit a video? An entire video? If you've been watching me long enough, you should know. But it depends. Like, at this point in my life, it would take me a little while no matter what. I only get so much free time every week. But, well, this is why I'm doing it. It motivate me a little more. Usually by now I would take a break. But I'm actually feeling motivated to keep going with it, so... I knew this question was coming. Since we got a new addition to the series now, someone brought up now what's going to happen with the ultimate weapon compilation, or the ultimate weapon montage. Which is like my most popular video to date. One of the best videos I've ever created, and I'm very proud of it. But anyway, yeah, that is a very good question. Because we have a new game now, I could add that in to the montage. Here's the thing, though. I feel like I want, I feel like I want maybe at least one more game to be added before I add more weapons into it. And so, yeah. I'm not going to touch it right now. And for all we know, Resident Evil 2 Remake is still coming out someday. So when that comes out, maybe I will retouch on the Ultimate Weapon montage. Not only add in the new games, though, I might rebuild it from scratch. And by that, I mean I would completely re-record every single weapon in every single game with my newest equipment to give you the best possible quality. Because right now, all that video is combining all of my established weapon reviews into one video. So the first several games, you can see the very crappy quality that they present. That is because I recorded those weapon reviews with an outdated standard definition capture device instead of an HD capture device and emulating it on my PC, like I do now. Wait, what? What about Rev 3? And how far up is it? Oh. If Capcom features Resident Evil Revelations 3 or Resident Evil 8, what characters should return? It's way too early to comment on that. Sure, it will take forever, but it will be the next best thing that I produce if I were to do it. And yeah, Gaiden and Survivor are in that compilation. Thanks, Liam, for clarifying for him. Okay, anyway, I need to get back to editing this review. Getting off track. So... Alright, so we are done with the M19, and there's nothing extra with it, so we're going to move on. Import! And go back to the folder with a whole bunch of folders. Next weapon, G17, handgun. Start. Alright, so now that I covered the first handgun, the rest of the handgun shouldn't take nearly as long, because as you saw, I just had a lot of information about the handguns in general before I started actually reviewing the M19. So, and no alternate evil. I'm not going to live stream Resident Evil Survivor. My Let's Plays are going to proceed as they are regularly. I don't want to make live streaming too regular on my channel because the live streams don't accumulate nearly as many views as my regular videos does. So... Alright, so let's get the video clip in there. And paste attributes. I guess they're always copied, so. And I get the track. And actually remember to lower it to 218. Minus 218. What will I do with this live stream? I'm going to leave it on my channel. This is my very first behind the scenes video, basically. So I have no problem with leaving it on my channel. People can look back and see how the final weapon review came to be, in a sense. So this is staying on my channel.
Gun people.
Alright, so I want that, like, over here. Alright, I'm going to do something that I do sometimes. I'm going to try to perfectly sync it in advanced. And to do that, I can go all the way over to the weapon testing and try to match the sound of the gunshots from the voice track to the game track. So I'm going to mute the... Oh, I need to... There we go. Wow. It's like perfectly synced already. That was incredibly lucky. That happens sometimes, and I love it when it does. It saves a lot of time. Okay.
Now for the next handgun.
Alright, fade in between the weapons.
M19 handgun, people. Now for the next handgun, the Glock 17. This makes a return from previous Resident Evil games.
Alright, someone just asked or said that they hope I never branch away from Resident Evil. That's in my fine print on my channel. I'm not going to.
Now for the next handgun, the Glock 17. This makes a return from previous Resident Evil games. Alright. A standard power handgun, designed mainly for ease of use. Alright. So
Cut that out.
for ease, designed mainly Alright. Games. From pre Now this makes a return from previous Resident Evil games. Alright. A standard power handgun, designed mainly for ease handgun. Designed mainly for ease Designed for handgun, designed mainly for ease of use. Alright. So, the G17... The G...
A little slip up.
The G... Alright. So... The G7... Designed mainly for ease of use. Alright. So, the G17 is gonna be your primary for a while in the game. Until, of course, you repair the M19 handgun.
Alright, didn't I say that?
Glock 17. This makes a return from previous Resident Evil games.
Yeah, Code Veronica was the first game to feature the Glock. So...
The G17 is gonna be your primary for a while in the game. Until, of course, you repair the M19 handgun. Repair in the game. For a while in the game. Until, of course, you repair the M19 handgun.
Alright, the reason why I keep going over that same audio track is because I keep looking at the chat and I lose focus. So just... I was asked this before about Resident Evil Deadly Silence. I honestly don't know right now. Because yes, it has another game mode, but other than that, it's still the same exact game.
19 handgun.
Which to me doesn't make it worth playing.
Repair the M19 handgun. It's an all-around... But the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. Ugh. But the G7...
Oh my god. I can get mad in my reviews. Because I keep saying the wrong thing.
an all-around, but the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
I need to make a blooper reel.
It's an all-around weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
I can repeat that for many minutes.
Round weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
But the G's are.
But the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest.
Okay, cut it right there.
But the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and
I think I was having a fit because I remembered that I was going TMI, too much information, so.
M19 handgun. It's an all-around, but the G17. You repair the M19 handgun. But the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and
I know it's very funny, but you wouldn't have known about it if you didn't see me edit it out. You know what? Fine. I'm gonna leave it in.
all-around weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
Okay. Okay, so in order to fix that, to where it won't.
But the G7.
I'm gonna put a little. Oh, so here's another thing, you guys. I'm gonna introduce. I'm gonna put a title right in there. So I'll get a title, new title, default steel. I'm gonna call this TMI. All right. Put it somewhere in the center. Center of the. Okay. And at the very bottom here, I have two font types or styles that I made, and I use in like a lot of my recent weapon reviews and other videos. But I want to do the black one because that's my TGS text right there. And TMI. And I'm going to increase the size to about right there. Alright, now I'm going to perfectly center it. Now, this is something, this is taking editing pretty high. To perfectly center it, the dimensions are 960 by 540. Bam. It's like perfectly centered now in the box. So, now to put that title over, or like right when I growl. See how that
17
looks.
is an all-around weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
Right there.
But the G7.
Perfect with that little breath that Ethan lets out.
It's an all-around weapon, to be honest. But the G7.
Wait, what are you proposing? Alright, someone is suggesting I do this. Watch this. See? Some interactivity happening here. And collaboration. So, now someone wants me to put in the bleep and make it even more funny. And you know what? That's a good idea. I want to do that. So, let me see. Where do I store that bleep file? YouTube tune, I think. No. It's in my video projects. Censor beat. There it is. Yeah, you guys are getting to see some of my, what's contained within my hard drive. Shit. No, there's nothing you can do. Alright, so now I got the sensor beep in there. So let me see, how do I want to cut this?
For the G7.
So maybe like right there.
Alrighty, so let's go.
Alright, so cut both of them right there, because that's where it's going to continue. Actually, I want to cut that as well. And that. So, oops. Oh, that worked. Okay, so now I'm going to delete that. Oops. Wait, well, there's nothing there anyway, so. Alright, sensor beep. Like right there. So, let's see.
For the G7.
Okay. I don't know about that. I need to put it like earlier or something. And I need to lower the volume on it quite a bit. It's pretty loud. Try that. Okay.
For the G7.
Alright, and then I'm gonna cut that and match it. Okay. So, let me see. What do you guys think of this?
To be honest. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17 out.
Okay, you want it right after the growl, so forget Ethan's breath.
For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test handgun. It's an all-around, but the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17 out.
Come on.
But the G7.
Alright, I better save before it freezes on me.
But the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G.
I just wish it would play and not freeze. Freaking A. There.
But the G17 is an all-around weapon, to be honest. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17 out.
Alright. I'm done with that. So. Well, we can't have it all, can we?
Out. Out.
Oh, I know what you're saying. That requires a whole process that I'm not in the mood to do right now. I'll have to get an image from Google Images and then shoehorn it into this. And just like, no, that's good enough.
The G17 out.
All right.
Out. Out.
Let's get to it faster. I'm spending too long on this weapon. Okay, the reason why I stopped for a second is that this is where I actually want to start it.
G17 out.
Oh my god, this is ticking me off.
So let's go ahead and test the G17 out.
Whoa. Alright, slow-mo the last shot. Reload animation.
Alrighty, so the firing sound does not change between the handguns, it seems. Well, that's unfortunate. Then again, it seems. Well, that's unfortunate.
Unnecessary sentence.
In the handguns, it seems. Then again, this isn't a gun-based game like the action shooters of Resident Evil 5 and 6, so they're not going to put too much variety in it, which is fine by me. Alright, so now let's test enhanced ammo.
Get that little space out of there.
Alright. Which is fine by me. Alright, so now let's test enhanced variety.
It can take anywhere from a week to 6 months to edit something.
In it, which is fine by me. Alright, so now let's test enhanced ammo. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So
Alright, that was necessary.
So the G17 does have a less firepower than the M19. I know that off the bat.
Will you move?
Oh my god. So if
Okay.
if you haven't noticed, weapon statistics aren't a big feature as well in this game. Once again, due to the fact that it's not focusing on the weapons as much as storyline.
Oh, you want some more trivia, huh? Well, I'm not gonna wait for the answer, but it's just something to go on about. Because I do mention it in my weapon reviews. What's my favorite category of weaponry?
So, if you haven't noticed, weapon statistics aren't a big feature as well in this.
Will you please stop being frozen?
So, if you haven't noticed, weapon statistics aren't a big feature as well in this game.
Yep,
Once
Magnums.
again, due to the fact that it's not focusing on the weapons as much as storyline.
Alright, now this is a trick question, because I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my weapon reviews, but it has been asked of me before. So if you have to take a guess, you can. I'll give you the answer. But now, what's my most favorite Magnum in the series?
The weapons as much as storyline. Alright, if you haven't noticed, there's no listing of weapon statistics like the modern games. So, the only things you see right off the bat...
Okay, what is going on? I need to...
So, if you haven't noticed, weapon statistics... If you haven't noticed...
Wow, it's like a whole entire repeat.
The G7... Alrighty, so let's go. G7. For the G7. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's. G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead.
Does that look better?
For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, actually, that is the correct answer. It is the Smith & Wesson M500, aka handgun, and aka elephant killer. Max Park, like, you did it word for word. Like, a lot of you are saying both hand cannon and elephant killer, but as far as I see, Max Park is the only one who put all three into the comment. So, yeah. There you go. Okay. Why do I play on Xbox? Are you serious?
For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test. For the G7. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17 out. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and test the G17.
Alright, I'm not making any more edits, so just accept that alternate.
Out. Alrighty, so the
Yeah, honestly, you're going OCD at this point.
Alright, if you haven't noticed, there's no listing of weapons. Alright, if you haven't noticed, there's no listing of weapon statistics like the modern games. So, the only things you see right off the bat, really, are the capacity. and perhaps the firing speed. Perhaps the firing speed.
This whole bit seems like a TMI section.
There's no listing of weapon statistics like the modern games. So, the bat really are the capacity, and perhaps the firing speed. Perhaps the firing speed. Now the reload speed is...
Alright, and just a way to speed up the process.
You see right off the bat really are the capacity, and perhaps the firing speed. Perhaps the firing speed.
Alright, I need to cut that out.
Firing capacity. Speed. Perhaps the firing. The bat really are the capacity. Perhaps the firing speed. Now the reload speed is... Okay. I may have slightly lied.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta leave this in the weapon review because it is important.
Okay. So, the only things you see right off the bat really are the capacity. Okay. I may have slightly lied when I said there are no upgrades in the... Alright, if you haven't noticed, there's no listing of weapon statistics like the modern games. So, the only things you see right off the bat really are the capacity. Okay. I may have slightly lied. I may have slightly lied when I said there are no upgrades. When I said there are slightly lied when I said there are no upgrades in this game. There is one type of game. There's one type of upgrade sort of that increases there's one sort of that increases the reload speed of your weapons, but it's not in the shape of an upgrade or a weapon part. It's actually something called a stabilizer. It's basically an injection shot. Here, I think I have one in here. Do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. So, a stabilizer relaxes the muscles and reduces stress, making reloading faster. The effects last indefinitely, so you can permanently increase your reload speed if you use one of these stabilizers. I'm not going to because I'm trying to give you guys the most basic and average statistics of these weapons, even though they're not much, even though they're not heavily of these weapons. Even though they're of these weapons, even though they're not heavily featured in this game, unlike the modern games. But just be aware that you can increase the reload speed with these stabilizers. There's a total of 2, I think, in this game. So, you can increase your reload speed a little bit. But anyway, God, I do speak way too much.
Ha! Known fact.
Fuck.
See? You would never see that in my final weapon review. I don't curse that easily.
Fuck. But yeah, the point... But yeah, the point I was... God, I do... I think, in this game. So, you can increase your reload speed a little bit. But anyway, God, I do speak way too much. But yeah, the point I was making before talking about the stabilizer is it's only the capacity you could see right off the bat, really, and possibly the firing speed, even though that depends entirely on you, sort of. But there is a limit. Now, between the M19 and the Glock 17, I didn't see much of a fire rate difference, but the capacity is clearly different. The M19 only has 7 bullets per clip. The Glock 17, however, has 10 bullets per clip. So there's an advantage right there, but it's going to compensate firepower for it. I know that for a fact. Anyway, enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and test the Glock 17 on a molded.
Alright, finally done. God damn it. Okay. I just remembered. I forgot to put the location in there again. So, oh. Alright, intro. Alright, so we want the location after the initial introductions. So
Previous Resident Evil games. Alright. A standard power handgun, designed mainly for ease of use. Alright. So, the G17 is gonna be your primary. Alright.
Alright, so right there is perfect. Whew.
Hey, put that door back! Put that door!
Alright, this fair warning before I proceed. This little cutscene here contains gore. What happened to that message, by the way? This game contains violence and gore. Oh, I gotta paste attributes. There we go. Alright, be prepared.
Wait!
Okay.
Mainly for ease of use. Alright.
Hey, put that door back!
Now you know my pain. I have to do this all the time to produce the content that I make for you guys.
Alright.
And it's worse when you don't have an audience backing you.
Alright.
Hey, put that door back! Put that door back!
Alrighty, so here's where you get the...
Ugh.
ease of use. Alright.
Hey, put that door back!
Alrighty, so here's where you get the G17.
Okay, I need to decrease the game volume down a bit because his voice is overlapping mine. So in this case, I'll just lower it maybe down to minus 9.54.
Alrighty, so here's where you get the G17. When Jack kills the deputy, it falls out of his hand, and then you can go and get it real quick. So grab the G17 handgun. Alrighty.
Fuck it!
Fuck it! Alright. Okay. So that sounded good, right?
Alrighty, so here's where you get the G17. When Jack kills the deputy, it falls out of his hand, and then you can go and get it real quick. So grab the G17 handgun. Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Fuck it!
I'm gonna leave that little profanity in there. It might cancel the monetization of my video though, but whatever.
Alrighty.
So now to delete this gap. There we go.
Fuck it!
So the G17 is gonna be your primary.
Alright, now that I got introductions out of the way, now I can move on to the enemy testing again. It's only frustrating, like, if it takes this long for each individual weapon. Normally it's a nice pace, but I'm gonna try to do that for the next gun. I'm gonna focus entirely on editing, and I'm gonna try not to address you guys too much for the next weapon, at least. But anyway, let's get to the enemy testing. Import. Enemy. The first one. Alrighty is one of my most common, like, words in life in general. You hear me say that, like, when I'm at work. Alrighty. Alrighty then. I got that from Ace Ventura. Here we go. Looks way better. Let's get that ready to go and lower it. Put it all the way over there. Yeah.
On a molded.
Okay, I need to delete the gaps between shots. Alright, now let me look at that enemy and
Molded.
Good.
Okay. Okay, so that took a total of 13 Glock 17 shots with regular ammo to take down a molded when shooting the chest in normal mode. So, slightly higher amount than the slightly higher amount, slightly more bullets than the M19, slightly more bullets than the M19. So there's your proof right there that the Glock 17 is. So slightly more bullets than the M19. So there's your proof right there that the Glock 17 isn't as powerful as the M19. but it's funny. It added the same. It's funny. 19. It's funny. It added the same amount of bullets to the capacity as it bullets to.
Dang it.
To the capacity. It's funny. It added the same amount of bullets to the capacity as it did to do in the molded. Is there a connection there? Alright. Anyway. Connection there? Alright. Connection there? Alright. Is there a connection there? Alright. Anyway. Let's go ahead. Anyway. Now. Connection there? Alright.
Here we go.
Connection there? Alright. Anyway, now let's test the enhanced ammo on the with the Glock 17. On enhanced ammo on the with the Glock 17.
Alright, oh, that pad. Now for enhanced ammo. I don't know, people. I mean, this is fun and all, but I still am starting to get a little bored. Maybe it's because now I'm trying to focus and I'm not interacting with you anymore. But let's see, 11. Okay.
17.
What the hell? Oops.
Alrighty, so that took. Alrighty, so that took 5 shots from the enhanced Glock 17 to take down a molded. Now, one of those shots did take his arm off, so that might have compromised like an accurate test to compare with the previous test. I don't test. I don't know if I want to do it again. I don't know if
That sigh.
with the previous test. I don't know if I want to do it again just to find out. But point is, enhanced ammo heavily increases the firepower of any handgun.
Hanny.
Ammo heavily increases the firepower of any handgun. But it did take one shot more than the M19 enhanced. So there's still a difference of firepower in there. Alright? So between the M19 and the Glock 17, Glock 17's advantage is it has more ammo, but the in there. Alright? So between the M19 and the Glock 17, Glock 17's advantage is it has more ammo, but the M19 has more firepower. Those are your two options between those two weapons. But we're not done with the handguns, we still got two more to review. So that is it for the Glock 17.
Alright, so something that the M19 didn't have, but the Glock 17 does have, is a cutscene. I'm doing these again. If there are any, at the end of the weapons, I will provide a cutscene of them, if they're featured. And there's one for the G17. No voice track necessary. Alright, cut that just a little bit. Do a nice fade in. And I'm gonna put a title up here that I already have.
Teen.
Right there.
Teen.
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see some more.
I want that for the entirety of the cutscene.
So that is it for the Glock 17.
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see some wonderful. Fuck!
Alright. That's it for the Glock 17. Alright, people. I'm going to move on to the next handgun. And for this one, I'm going to totally focus on just editing it together. So, let's watch me speed edit. Alright, start. Oops.
Now for the next handgun, the MPM, also known as the Makarov MPM. This makes a return from Revelations 2, the last main game in the series before this. That's kind of interesting. So the MPM is described as a small standard power handgun acquired on the wrecked ship. And that is true, as I will demonstrate here. I
actually cued it this time. That's nice.
right here. So from the first floor elevator, this is where you get the MPM, or the as I will demonstrate here. So from the first floor elevator, this is where you get the MPM, or the Makarov, if you want to say. It's in this drawer where this crew member is holding the drawer. You open the door and there's the MPM. It's in this drawer, if you want to say. It's on the... It's in this drawer, you want to say. It's in this drawer where this worker... This crew member... It's in this drawer where this crew member is holding the drawer. You open the door and there's the NPM for you. Alright. Alright, so now we have the NPM equipped. Let's go ahead and test it out. So now we have the NPM equipped. Let's go ahead and test it out. Well, first let's see the animation.
Oh yeah, I wanna cut that out. If I can even find it.
Alright, so let's go ahead and it out. And firing speed. Switch to enhanced ammo. Little animations with testing. Alrighty then, so there's the M19 testing it out. Now, actually, there's the M19 testing it out. Alright, so now I'm gonna go it. The initial testing. Alrighty. Alright, so initial testing. Alright, so now I'm
Alright, I got rid of that bit, so I don't have to worry about the whole animation thing.
let's go ahead and test it out. Well, first with regular ammo.
Oh, that's way behind.
First with regular ammo. First, test it out. First with regular ammo. First with regular ammo. First with test it out. First with regular ammo. First with regular ammo. First with regular ammo. First with regular ammo. With regular ammo. Alright, now with enhanced ammo. Alright, so firing firing speed, and firing. Alright, so firing speed, and firing. So firing the weapon, firing speed, firing. So firing the weapon, firing speed, firing sound. So alright. So firing. Alright, so firing the weapon, firing speed, firing sound, and reload speed seem to be all the same. The only difference between all these handguns is the firepower and the capacity. This weapon, this handgun, this weapon, and the capacity. This weapon, this capacity. This handgun holds 9 bullets instead of the bullets. Instead of the 7 from the M19 or the 10 from the Glock. So this one, in terms of capacity, is between those two weapons. Now let's see how it fares in firepower. Alrighty, so the Makarov took a total of 14 shots to defeat a molded. So out of all the handguns so far, this one has the weakest firepower. And yes, I already knew that. There's almost no reason to have this handgun once you make it back to Ethan's part of the game. Like, there's no reason to equip it with Ethan. The game. Ethan, there's nothing about it to Ethan's part of the game. Nothing about it is better besides having a higher capacity than the M19, but it has a weaker firepower than the Glock, so that's not even worth it. Even worth it.
Get that, cut out that cough.
Alright, well, regardless, now I'm gonna go ahead and test it with enhanced demo.
Oh, I cut that off kind of short. Almost done with that.
test it with enhanced demo.
Oops. Didn't want to do that. Nope. There you go.
Enhanced demo. Alright, so the Makarov took a total of 6 enhanced shots to take down a molded. So in both cases, the Makarov proves to be the weakest handgun in the game. Even though I have handgun in the game, even though I haven't even shown the last one yet. But I'm just going to tell you that right here and now. It is the weakest handgun in the game. There's once again, there is no reason to use it once you get back to Ethan. Its only use, really, is in Mia's part of the game, because it's her handgun. It's her personal handgun, really. It's the handgun you is in Mia's part of the game. It's her game.
Oops.
Even it's the handgun you receive for her. But then once you see the next handgun, even it is gonna make that part pointless. But anyway, that is it for the Makarov MPM handgun.
Okay, got through that one much faster than the last two. Okay. Alright, so there is one handgun left before I complete the handguns. And I'm going to go ahead and edit that together too. But I think after that, people, I'm going to end this live stream. Because I'm getting, like, my back is starting to get sore from remaining in this posture for this long. And I really need to take a break. And I think with the amount of time I've been streaming and the amount of editing that I did show in this game, it's enough to suffice and give you guys a general idea of how I edit my weapon reviews together. And yeah, I may consider doing this again in the future, but I'll discuss that a little later. For now, let's go ahead and edit the last handgun together, because there is no cutscene for the Makarov. And the next one's going to be interesting anyway, because it is the Albert 01 unlockable handgun. Alrighty.
MPM handgun.
Kind of cut that little short, but that wasn't my cut. That was me stopping the commentary a little prematurely. Alright. Alright.
MPM handgun. Alright, time for a major throwback weapon. Alright, time for a major throwback weapon, which happens to be the last handgun in the game. Now for the last... Alright, time for a...
I had to restart the entire thing.
Alright.
Alright, let's hear that again.
In the game. Now for the last...
You could just hear my frustration.
Handgun. Alright, time for a major throwback weapon. Time for the last handgun, which is also the only unlockable handgun It is called the Albert 01. Now I wonder if you get... '01. Now I wonder if you... It is called the Albert 01. Now I wonder if you get... Now I wonder if you guys can figure out why it is called that. If you look at it closely, that is... You see the stars? Yeah, that is Albert Wesker's Samurai Edge. I think that's... Yeah, that's Albert's Samurai Edge, I think. If not that, then it's the Stars Samurai Edge handgun from, like, classic games. But it's even equipped with a silencer. Of some sort. Equipped with a silencer. Anyway. A function...
Oh, seriously. Not now. I'm getting a phone call.
Silencer. Anyway. Silencer. Anyway. A functioning replica...
Okay, so obviously this is where I go to the description. So.
Anyway. Silencer. Anyway. A functioning replica of the...
Seriously. Alright, give me a second, people.
Equipped with a silencer. Anyway. A functioning replica of the...
God damn it. Wait.
Anyway. A functioning replica of the anti-bioweapon handgun. Even though it's a replica, it still packs a punch. Okay, it's called the Albert 01R. My bad. Anyway, this weapon is special because it's not... Because... Special because it's not... Okay. Ugh, God, I keep screwing this up. Okay. Ugh, God, I keep screwing this up. It's not necessarily special because it's not necessarily an unlockable. It's just you can only unlock it as a regular weapon. Unlockable. It's just you can only unlock it as a regular weapon. But normally, but in the regular game, as a regular weapon.
What's...
But normally, but in regular weapon. But in the regular game, if you haven't unlocked it yet, you can only see it at the very end of the game, and it's a very special weapon. And the reason that this one is called a replica is because it's not really like its counterpart. Like its counterpart. It's not really like its counterpart. It's not like its original version.
Alright, that's better.
really replica is because it's not replica is because it's not like its original version. Replica is because it's not like it is because it's not a replica is because it's not like its original version. I'll show you that after I look at it. Alright, so let's go ahead. After I look at it, I'll show you that after I look at it.
This kind of sucks.
Alright, at it. Alright, so let's go ahead. So, and equip it. So, alright. I'll show you that.
This is where... This one's kind of tough.
Then it's the Stars Samurai Edge handgun from, like, classic games. Of the anti-bioweapon handgun. It's not necessarily an unlockable, it's just you can only unlock it as a regular weapon. But in the regular game, if you haven't unlocked it yet, you can only see it at the very end of the game, and it's a very special weapon. And the reason that this one is called a replica is because it's not like its original version. End of the game, and it's end of the game, and it's a very special weapon. And the reason that this one is called a replica is because it's not like its original version. It's a very special weapon. And the reason that this one is called a replica is because it's not like its original version. I'll show you that. Alright. Its original version. Original version. Alright, so let's go ahead. Version. Alright, so let's go ahead and equip it. Alright. So let's original version. So let's go ahead and equip it. Yeah, it's a nice bulky handgun. Alright, so here's the main drawback to this weapon, though. It only has 3 bullets in the magazine, so you're gonna have to reload it constantly. However, in my opinion, it is worth all that because this happens to be the most powerful handgun in the game. Not the first time I've said that when it came to the Samurai Edge. Alright, so let's Samurai Edge. Alright, the Samurai Edge. Alright, so let's go ahead and test it out.
Damn!
Test it out. It out. So let's go ahead and test it out. Alright, now this one has a different shot animation and a different firing sound, and a different firing speed because it has greater recoil. So this is a different handgun compared to all the rest. Now let's test it with enhanced ammo. Ammo. Alright, so yeah, the Albert 01 handgun is, like, once you unlock this, oh, I forgot how to tell you to, I forgot to tell you how Albert 01 handgun is, like, 01 handgun is, like, once you Albert 01 handgun, alright, so yeah, the Albert 01 handgun is, like, once you unlock handgun, once you unlock this, oh, alright, so yeah, the Albert 01 handgun, once you unlock this, oh, I forgot how to tell you to, I forgot to tell you, Albert 01 handgun, I forgot to tell you, alright, I forgot to tell you how to unlock this, how to unlock this handgun. It's almost not, alright, I forgot to tell you how to unlock, this, how to, alright, I forgot to tell you how to unlock this handgun. I forgot to tell you how to unlock this handgun. It's almost not even worth a gun. This handgun. It's almost not even worth explaining how to unlock it, because you unlock it by simply beating the game. It doesn't matter what difficulty you win, you'll unlock it the moment you beat the game, no matter how long you take.
I sounded foreign right there because I didn't have proper grammar.
Beating the game. It doesn't matter what difficulty you win, you'll unlock it the moment you beat the game, no matter how long you take, no matter how many first aid meds you take, no matter what. The requirement for this gun is to simply make it through the game. To finish it, to beat it. So it is literally the easiest unlockable in this game, if not any Resident Evil game. It's like along there with unlocking new difficulty modes upon initially beating it. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the Albert 01R handgun on a molded.
No, I doubt I'll be live streaming tomorrow. Just wanted to give you guys an initial look at my editing, but I'm not going to live stream my entire project.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So only 4 shots from the Albert ONR to take down a molded. It takes down a molded. It takes down a molded. It takes down a molded with as many regular shots as it takes enhanced M19 shots. What does that tell you? So this gun is more powerful than the Glock 17 and the Makarov with enhanced ammo, and the same firepower as the M19 with enhanced ammo. So this blows all other handguns out of the park in terms of firepower. But they they compensate that by giving you very low ammo amounts in each magazine and a slightly slower firing speed, which honestly you can get over. Alright, so if it took that many rounds with regular bullets, let's see how many enhanced bullets it takes.
Alright, almost done.
Bullets it takes.
Wow, only 2.
Alrighty, it took half the amount. It only took 2 enhanced shots from the Albert 01R to take down a molded. So yeah, this thing is a beast when it has enhanced ammo on it. So I think I noticed that
Technically, this is actually the 3rd part. You guys didn't... I already edited the first 2 parts, and they're comprised totally of melee weapons.
ammo on it. So I think I noticed that enhanced ammo basically cuts the amount of shots it takes for handguns in half. Because for handguns in half. So I think I noticed that on it.
Alright, that's a false fact.
Because or less sometimes. The M19 times. The M19 regular took 10, while the enhanced took 4. That's a little less than half. 17 took 13. So yeah, a great weapon to have.
Yeah, I'm cutting all of that out.
Notice that enhanced ammo basically so yeah, on it. So yeah, a great when it has enhanced ammo on it. Take down a molded. So yeah, this thing is a beast when it has enhanced ammo on it. So yeah, a great weapon to have once you unlock it. It pretty much gives you reason. It pretty much gives you reason. It pretty much renders all the it pretty much weapon to have once you unlock it. It pretty much renders all the other handguns useless once you have it. The only thing is though, it's in the item box, so you do have to get in the item box first. Alrighty. Well, that is it for the Albert 01 handgun, as well as all handguns.
Alright. So, one last thing. because I think I did provide an extra thing for this. Yep, the actual final battle with the actual version of it.
All handguns.
Use it! Playtime's over.
Now watch this. I'm gonna get all climactic with it. A perfect end. Okay. All right. So, since that officially hands the handguns, this is a point in editing where I would look at my total time. That's almost 25 minutes. That's quite a bit, and I would prefer to shorten it for another part, but I want to stay within the category of handguns. I don't want to split them between parts. So I'm going to go ahead and let it be at that time, but I'm not going to add another weapon to this part. So this officially ends part 3 of the weapon review. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through my exporting process, which is practically the last step before upload. So let's see here. So what I do is, well, it doesn't matter where. Just go like into the middle of it, whatever. I'm gonna go to File. Oh, first I'm gonna just make sure the beginning's all good.
Alrighty, people.
So that's the start. That's the end, and then just making sure that it says cutscenes. Yep, everything's good. Okay, so yep, selected a clip. There's already a spoiler warning at the very beginning of the weapon review, so yeah. Alright, so yeah, we go to File, Export, and Media. Alright, so first, I'm gonna change the name. Alright, so it's automatically linked to my folder full of videos. Alright, well, this is like a delightful treat for you guys. This folder that I have open right now contains all of my weapon reviews. These are all of my videos, and they're like basically the files, the raw files that I upload. You can see it goes all the way back to 0. Anyway, yeah, I got quite a bit. And I got a folder called The Gamer Shankster in a folder called My YouTube Videos, because I got 3 channels total. So The Gamer Shankster is the channel you guys are watching. And then I have four folders in those: the weapons, other, melee moves, and let's plays. Because I have like 3 different kinds of video going. Other is just like random projects, like yeah, a whole bunch of shit. See here. So yeah, go into weapons, and then yeah, all of the individual weapon reviews and all of their parts. So yeah, and there's the ultimate weapon showcase at the very bottom. Let me see here. There's what's in melee moves. Yep, all of the individual melee move videos, still quite a bit. And of course, Let's Plays is even more organized. I got each game organized right here. And then within each game, you got like the game number for Resident Evil 3, which was my last Let's Play. There's 3 main games, and then there's all the mercenaries. Then you have the prologue and the epilogue. Yep, it's all in here. Yep, all the parts to each individual gameplay, mercenaries. Yep, all of that. Yep. Alright, so back to weapons. Make the naming process. So here's Resident Evil 7 down here. Here's part 1 and part 2. And you guys notice that a lot of these thumbnails are the same with like Luis in the front? That's because I always begin my weapon reviews with my awesome, my weapon intro. So the thumbnail always goes like 3 seconds in, so it's always the same thumbnail for my weapon reviews. Oh yeah, someone just commented about my other channels. If you go back to my YouTube videos, go to Shankster94, which is like one of my other channels. It's a bunch of Skate 2 gameplay. If you guys ever want to check that out, you can. But there's like no commentary whatsoever, and it's just me doing stuff like on Funtrack. But yeah, and TGS Classics, of course, this is organized as well. But yeah, this is like older videos that are no longer on my main channel. You could only find here on my Classics channel. Just more melee moves. Let me show you guys something. This video right here is my very first video that I ever uploaded to YouTube. This was uploaded back in August of 2010. So almost 7 years ago. Just so you guys know. Yeah. Alright, so now back to the point. Alright, so there's 7. So I'm going to click on it, the latest part, and then I'm just going to change the name to part 3. And save. So now the name of the video is ready to go. And then my preset, I want all my settings like good for YouTube. I want it in 60 frames, so 59.94 is the frame rate. And then bitrate, I learned that YouTube only does a maximum of 15 Mbps. So there's no reason to go any higher. So there's my target. And then I could maximize it to 20 because the raw file is in 20 Mbps. So just certain things. Audio quality, everything else is good. I have certain other settings I don't need to get into detail. It's ready to go. Total size is going to be 2.7 gigabytes. These videos are like, they can be huge these days since I always do HD. Alright. Oh, someone asked about Shankster94. Not really. I don't upload to that channel very much anymore. I just lost the passion. It's not going to happen on this channel, though. Alright, export. Alright, this could actually slow everything down. But anyway, for a video this size and this long, this actually takes about 3 hours to export. I'm not joking. The fact that I put it in 60 frames instead of 30, that makes it all the more difficult to encode it. But anyway, I'm going to give this a chance to encode. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream here now. Oh. Yeah. Well, I noticed that my live stream is already lagging. So I think I'm going to have to get off this. Alright. Yeah, because it's probably going crazy right now. Alright, people. So this is Shankster94, aka the Gamer Shankster. Rate, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shankster_94 and to follow my Facebook page. I do have a Twitch account, but once again, I'm thinking of not announcing that anymore because I don't do enough on it. I'll keep it, but I think I'm going to stop announcing it in videos. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the final product of the weapon review in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Weapons Review. Peace out.